Peace, y'all. Thank you once again for checking out the Klyph Notes podcast, for downloading, subscribing, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Got another good one for you. I had a chance to sit and chop it up with Portland artist, community member, advocate for the kids, Mighty. We talked about all kinds of things, man. His career making music, where he's at now, and something that he's really passionate about, Laced Up PDX, and how it's a part of the 2019 Portland Hip Hop Week celebration. So check out this latest episode, the Klyph Notes podcast, featuring Mighty. Support for the Klyph Notes podcast comes from Acapella Apparel, an idea born from a love of hip hop, funk, and soul music and its surrounding cultures. With fashion being a huge visual part of the cultures, they've created expressive images to pay homage, invoke nostalgia, and showcase the elements that make up the lifestyle and cultures of these genres. Acapella, apparel for the music lifestyle. For more information, check out acapella.com. That's AKEPELE.com. Yes, y'all. We back. Another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. Available everywhere you listen to your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We on like iHeart Podcasts, Pandora, like everywhere. Anywhere you get podcasts, you can check us out, man. Appreciate y'all checking in, man. I got to give some shout outs, man. Big ups to folk, man. It's crazy. We're expanding. Like, we're literally all over the planet. I gave some shout outs before, man, but I didn't realize, like, really the reach. Like, we got folk in Russia. I hope they just digging the podcast and they're not, like, spying on us or anything crazy like that. Yeah, man, we're worldwide. So shout out to everybody who rocks with us, man. Spain, I see, is rocking with us now. And then in the U.S., of course, that's where we're heaviest represented. California rock with us hard, man, specifically San Francisco. So shout out to San Francisco for rocking with the Klyph Notes podcast, man. And you know, if you wanna check in on the really real, you can hit me at klyphnotes@gmail.com, klyphnotes@gmail.com. Shout out to New Zealand. New Zealand is also rocking with us heavy. So we worldwide, baby. All right, man. So this one's cool. This cat, I've known for a minute. He's been putting in work crazy as an artist, as an advocate. But enough of me, yo. Let him know who you are.
Oh, man, you know, Mighty in the building, man. MIGHTY. You feel me? At ITZ. MIGHTY.
How you doing, bruh?
Absolutely incredible, man. I can't complain, man.
Word, man. It's definitely it's good to have you. It's good to have you here on the podcast, man. You know, like I said, I've known you for a minute, just watching you move, and moving you have been, my dude.
You know, when we talk about moving, it's like you try not to document too much, right? Because you don't want to spam the socials, right? I've literally gotten to the point where I have to go through what I'm gonna post because it's just too much going on, you know. And I don't want to seem like I'm all over the place, but low key, that's really what's going on.
Yeah, no, but you are. But I think one of the cool things that people who follow you see is that when you're posting, it's not just because you're blasting simply the art. You are doing so much out here, bro.
Yeah, man.
That you almost have to. Like, you have to be on socials heavy like that. But let's go back a little bit. So, So like I said, man, I've known you for a minute. I've watched you doing your situation for a minute. I know you as Mighty the MC.
Yes, sir.
And how long you been rapping?
Oh, bars? We talking bars?
Yeah,
man. Really long time.
Yeah.
Probably like, you know, we looking at 20. At 20. I started rapping. Just like everybody around that 8 to 10 range, you really start messing with the words and seeing and putting things together. Not really knowing what bars was. You know, you always got that one rap that was like 75 bars, 74 and a half.
Right. No hook.
No hook, just straight to the point.
Right.
But even back then, man, I was like talking political stuff. I had opinions. I had, I had a lot of just a view on things. It was really weird as a young person. So, just, man, trying to express myself at about 10 years old.
Right.
And it really started to come full circle around 12 years old because we actually got to release a record. I was in a group before, and we released a record at 12 years old, like shot the cover art, the whole nine in Vallejo, California. I used to go to Vallejo every summer, so probably about 12 years old legit, you know? So, man, we looking at like 20.
That's what's
it's
up,
like 19.
Man. Stylistically, like not the generic, you know, who are your influences?
Okay.
But like stylistically, who do you sort of pattern? Who would you say you pattern yourself after?
Yeah. Definitely, you know, a lot of people always say Eminem, you know, which I get it. I understand that. That's not a knock.
Yeah.
But he does have one sound. You feel me? And I'm definitely, but I bring a realistic element to that same wordplay and those internal rhyming and really intricate with the style. So I would say I add a little bit of Jay-Z flavor to the Eminem. Like if you could put what was the song they did together? You know which one I'm talking about? Where it's him and oh man, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But it's M and J. And if you just like put them in a pot, that's really what it is. Because I had a lot of East Coast like just I caught the East Coast vibe. You know, I loved how they put words together. But then I really enjoyed the Pac, you know, really getting down to the nitty gritty and talking about things. So I would say Pac, J, and M are definitely my main stylistic influences. But in modern time, you know, you add a lot of more melodic things to that. So, you know, the Machine Gun Kellys and the Drakes and the Logics. I sound a lot like Logic. A lot of people, you know, I put that in my keywords on YouTube because it just I just have a similar vibe. So
that's I've always felt like you have an East Coast sort of vibe to you know, when I listen to you on record. So it's interesting that you know that you say that because to me it comes across for real. I'm
a West Coast cat, but Biggie was probably one of the best MCs of all time to me. Like to me, he does trump a lot of other people. No pun intended. Just because it's the way he sat in the pocket, man. There was so much comfort, you know, and rhythmically being Italian and Mexican, you know, like I naturally have a cadence that's kind of faster with even when I talk. So I got an East Coast vibe, but with a little bit more, not so much molasses, more speed to it, more rhythm, more Latin rhythm to it. So
right. That's what's up. What's up. So like I said, man, I see you like when it comes to art, just consistent that way. There's also a very specific style visually. So like when I see you in videos and whether they be cameos or stuff that you do yourself, there's a really high quality to what you put out.
Thank you, man.
And I'm wondering, is that it's not to say it's purposeful because I think anybody who creates art, they do it with purpose. But in terms of the look that your visuals have, is that something that sort of is up there when you're putting that out?
Absolutely. You know, when we were making the logo, I went through a few different logo, you know, revamps because we wanted it to represent sharp, professional, you know what I mean? Powerful. And these things, you know, and quality. And these things are what I represent. I feel like my personality shines through the name Mighty. And so when you tune into something, it should feel that way, right? You should feel like this overabundance of like, wow, it's almost like a punch in the face with quality, but also with like you're getting everything too. So quality and quantity. How could we get both of those? And so, that's really one of the first boxes we want to check. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm very particular, man. I work with folks who also are looking for that. And so there's been times where, you know, I bumped heads with folk because I'm pretty opinionated, you know, and I'll say it out loud. I'm not being disrespectful or nothing. I know how to communicate, but like I want the best of everyone around us. We got to be great, you know?
No doubt.
I want to bring it out in my folks.
And I think it also comes across seeing you on stage, man. Like it's evident that you've been doing this for a minute. You know, when people see you touch the stage, crowd control, attention to detail, even within your performance, I think high quality. Obviously, a lot of that just comes with reps, experience, doing it the length of time that you have. But in terms of that, like where is that it? Just like I've done it. This is the feedback I've gotten from the audience, or is there something else that you've plugged into that you look at to say, okay, that's a marker. That's something that I identify with. That's something to point me in a direction that I should go.
Yeah, I think I never really emulate anybody when it comes to that. I never look at something and say that's where I want to go, and not to be directionless, but because it's not. It's a feeling. There's a feeling, you know. It's not visible. You can't see it. You have to feel it. Right. And there's these moments. Kobe Bryant said it the dopest way. You know, I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can get into that. But but
I see you rocking the Blazers situation. But go ahead.
I mean, but the fact of the matter is, when we he mentioned something. He says, I got to a point in my career where when I would drive to the bucket, everything stopped and moved in slow motion. Yeah. He said that's when I knew I was great. And I look for the moments on stage. I've literally felt it. I mean, I've had a room full of 700 people, bro, with every single, the bartender's hands is up. Yeah. I'm talking like the road manager in the sound booth his hands is up, bro. He's staring at me. I'm looking right at him, and I call him out on the mic like, hey, sound man, put your hands up, bro. I'm calling you out right now. I'm very, like this an energy thing. And so I've literally felt the room stop and move in slow motion, bro. And then that's when I know I got it. Yeah. Oh, I got him. Yeah, and I'm not afraid of it. And that was something, that's what I look for. That's that it's a feeling, man. And so I aim for that, through practice, through rehearsal, through applying the sonic, impact. What do you want to have? How should it sound at this really loud level? Right. And it's powerful. A lot of people, I got it multiple times in a row. They say we remind them of a more urban version of Rage Against the Machine when we're live. Yeah. And that was the most incredible compliment. I got it like 4 shows in a row from DJs, from Soundman. They were like, Soundman come up to me first before anybody. They're like, bro, you are so tight. Yeah. Bro, like, that was absolutely amazing. I've never seen that before. And it's me and my drummer are really on the same page with that. Right. So that's kind of what we look for. We look for that feeling.
That's what's up, man. I mean, and to be able to embrace that, I think is cool, because I think that can be a scary thing to a certain degree. It'd be hard to, I can see where it would be hard to embrace that, because, you think, well, if that's the bar that folks say that I'm touching, that's a lot to live up to. So that's what's up.
And we're not as political as they were or are. I don't know how you'd want to put that, but it's still a huge, the impact, the sound, the freedom, you felt so liberated when they would perform, bruh. I mean, I go on YouTube all the time and just watch how they would just control the crowd. And it's like, man, I mean, it's like they starting a anarchy. You know what I'm saying? They starting a revolt. You feel me? And it's like, it just felt amazing. And it's this release. And I look to give that to the crowd, man. I want them to get away from their life and their world for a little bit, man. And I don't know, I guess the directionless piece, a little bit of what I'm aiming for is scary too, because you can't quantify that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not a pin. You feel me? It's not a GPS. It's just kind of like, it's an inner GPS. You get there and you just kind of know.
That's what's up. So when people see you, they see Mighty, and then they see Mighty Nation. Talk to me about Mighty Nation.
Thanks.
Because I think that's one of the things that's cool, when you can embrace your, well, I mean, and I don't even want to put my spin on it. You tell me, what is Mighty Nation?
So Mighty Nation was created shortly after I took a break from music. I was on BET. I was on 106 in Park. I went back, did it again, traveled the country, 57 cities. I just took a break. Yeah. 2 years. I said, I'm not doing this no more. When I came back, I did everything on my own. I record everything, not production really, you know what I'm saying? But I was a part of production. I'd be there with the person making the beat or whatever. But I did everything on my own because I was an engineer. I'm still an engineer, and I just have an ear, you feel me? And so I started learning that was the problem. I wasn't tapping into my resources. I was secluding myself and then wondering why people weren't rocking, and it's just a weird thing. It's a thing that comes from my upbringing. Yeah. But Mighty Nation was that the message is you can't do anything alone. So I started tapping into all my friends and my close folks, the people that really understood me and knew me and had a mutual respect for. Mm. And so after that, music just started sounding crazy. We were doing organic. My entire Hope and Hunger album is organic from nothing. Yeah. We were making beats from nothing. Victory's made from scratch, bro. Yeah. And that song is so epic when you listen to it, sonically, it's incredible. Yeah. And so I don't know, man. I just feel like it started from doing everything alone and not wanting to be alone anymore. Yeah. And so Mighty Nation kind of started encompassing also being on stage with my drummer, with my DJ, with my boys. Yeah. It's almost like you in the living room, you feel me, with me, and we just rehearsing right here. But then also the crowd started to take on that feeling too. So they were like, oh, so it's Mighty and Mighty Nation? Is that what it is? And I'm like, no, the people on stage are the same as the people in the crowd. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right. So it's like, I'm just speaking. I'm just up here speaking to you. And so, like, if you vibe, you rocking. If you're not, cool. But, like, I guarantee you at the end of this, you're not going to be the same. And so Mighty Nation that's kind of what it represents. And it just started flourishing and kind of expanding as we were building as a live experience, you know, and people were like, yo, I got to go to that next time. Mighty and Mighty Nation was rocking with it, you know. So it's also the fan base, but it's also my folks too.
And the reason I ask is because, and obviously it doesn't sound like it was at the forefront of your thought of doing this, but I think when you create something like that, Mighty Nation, people look at that and they want to be a part of that. They want to be involved in it. Yeah. And I think that that's really cool because I think sometimes as a part of hip-hop, as a part of entertainment, I think it can be easy to isolate yourself. Yeah. And I think as a consumer, oftentimes that's what you look for. You look for something to be a part of. Yeah. Now you add to that your message. What I hear when you make your art, it becomes even more inviting. Yeah. And when you talk about the opportunity to make a difference in someone's lives or in someone's life, it's even more, I think, impactful. Yeah. Because people hear the art, they resonate with the art, but Mighty Nation almost gives people permission to have it be not separated as that's just an artist that I listen to, but this is a person who's speaking to me that I feel like I can then reach out to.
It gives the supporter like ownership, a buy-in. It's like, accountability. Like when you wear it with pride. I've made more money off my merch than that's how I became a homeowner. It's because of my merch, bro. Like the brand itself. It's standalone. You're proud to be a part of it, man. And I think that was what I was looking for in branding it. You know, I wanted people to be like, no, I'm a part of this, you know? And so I really want to make it seamless with the supporters. How do I do that? Because I'm just a normal person, bro. I don't ever want to be separated. That's not what I'm trying to do. And you got to figure that out through trial and error. And I'm just happy to be here in this moment because I couldn't have told you 10 years ago that would have been the case, you know? Right. I was just really lost, even though I was, at that time, very, very successful. Yeah. I mean, outside of Portland, out everywhere, bro. My life was so fast, I don't remember being in, you know how many cities, bro? Yeah. Like, so now it's a heartfelt moment, especially for me, with the brand because it came full circle, That's you know? It came full circle.
I just had to check, man. I thought someone was trying to, break in.
I know.
So I talked a little bit about my perception of the art that you make and the impact that it has. And anybody who rocks with anything that I do, whether it's the podcast or the radio show, they know kind of how I get down when it comes to art, to artists, and the importance, I think, of using your platform to say something. Shout out to Mighty Nation.
Hey, sorry.
We out here.
Klyph Notes, we had to go live on. We had to go live on you right quick. My bad, dog.
Nah, we good. That I feel like you use your platform purposefully. Yeah. Yes, it's art. Yes, it's entertainment. But am I wrong in saying that what you put out is heavier than that, is deeper than that? That there's really purposeful meaning behind what you put out there?
Absolutely. My mom is one of my biggest supporters. We had a lot of fallouts, in our life together because it was so hectic. There was so much stuff going on. But I talk, after opening up and really talking about a lot on Hope and Hunger, that was the moment where I said, I don't mind if I make a heavy joint. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm gonna say it. Every bar I'm gonna take it and make it. You could make a song out of one bar if you wanted to. Yeah. You should be able to do that. And I just feel like then the messages started resonating with people. It would find the people. It's not the people finding the music,
Right.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, the message was very pertinent, very intentional, you know, because there's a lot of ownership for me too. If people are buying into it and you are a part of this and you're going to take it on and it ain't even yours, right? Like, I got a responsibility. You feel me? And so I got to be 100 with you, and I got to keep it real with you. And so one of the joints that really changed my whole perception on that was Follow, featuring Aaron. That record, I watched one of my really good friends. He grown man. He cried in my living room like, bruh, I've been waiting for this from you. He known me since I was 8 years old. We used to kick it and ball. He looked at me, bro. He was legit crying, bro. He just looked at me like, I've literally been waiting for this. Thank you for doing this. Like, you finally here. And you know, we never did a video to that purposefully because I didn't want to misrepresent anything. I wanted that song to live in airspace, live in where it's at because of how powerful it was. So yeah, to answer the question, it's like it was a lot of intent to make sure I was transparent, and making the message relevant for the listener.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Chopping with the homie Mighty. So your art, like you said, has led you down some pretty cool paths. You've had an opportunity to be a part of big media situations, nationally, internationally,
Absolutely.
and continue to make music, but continue to be connected to the community in a very, very real way, a very, very tangible way.
Yeah.
So one of the things that that you lead out in is a situation in Portland called Laced Up PDX.
Yep.
So give me the history of that, man. Where did that start? Where did that all come from? Because we about to celebrate the third annual. So what's the beginnings of Laced Up?
Laced Up started like 5 years before, like the idea, the inception was like 5 years before the actual event.
Word.
I'm big, bro. I'm big on like, I don't commit to nothing if I ain't gonna do it 100.
Yeah.
Like, I tell people in my life, they be like, bro, you don't be hitting my line. I be like, because, bro, I don't got 100 for you. So I'm doing you a disservice, bro.
Yeah.
And they be like, bro, that's the realest thing I ever heard. I'm like, no, I'm just saying. Like, it's never a personal thing. Please don't take it that way. We ain't fall out, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I don't have 100 for you. And so that's been my whole life. I've always done that. And I'll give you the shirt off my back. So that also plays into the inception. Like, how can I still help the community? At the point when it started, I was in the community in college on BET, right? I worked with kids day in and day out at the same youth center I went to as a kid. You know, I became like the co-director, like just a higher up person at the place, right? It was cool because they had pictures of me at like 10 years old, right? And then pictures of me in that same building, and then a picture of me on TV on the kids' favorite television show performing, and then a picture of me in a cap and gown for my bachelor's degree. Wow. So like that to me was full circle because these kids knew I was from there. It's the Powell Youth Center, Police Activities League. There's a huge, it's the myth of Powell in Southeast. Like it was when everybody from gentrification had to go over there, and so the hood was just out there. It was just out there, and it was like we had hoop nights, and I was the little Italian boy that would rap it for anybody on the fly. So all of the inception started really from wanting to still help my community. So working with kids for 8 years. Towards the end of that, I'm like, man, I don't got no time for the community like I did before. I'm traveling the country now. So I had to figure out how I could help on my own terms, right? So I go and I work in mental health, right, is where I'm at now. I work at a hospital. And so that, to me, I'm still helping people, but I'm putting my degree to work. So then I'm like, man, I got to be able to still help the kids somehow. I'm volunteering. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Still not on my terms. And then one day I'm sitting there and we chopping it up. I'm like, man, why ain't we giving shoes to kids for their first day of school? Yeah. We are in the shoe capital of the world, bruh. Like, why are we not doing this? Yeah. And so then from there, man, the formula was created, and we just like picked each other's brain. Me and my closest friend David, another good friend of mine, Rachel. And we just sat and just vibed, bro. My living room was always this brainstorming area because my studio was in my living room. Yeah. Like, I would record right there. Like, we'd be kicking it, and I'm recording. You feel me? Yeah. So, yeah, man. And then we just kind of came up with a formula that was different. I was impacted by giving to people, but also seeing people not give in an appropriate way, personally, my personal opinion. I'm not a fan of first come, first serve in giving,
Mm-hmm.
personally.
Yeah.
Now, that's what the fuel was. That's what gave me the spark, right? That's the passion, because you got to change the face of giving somehow. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. I looked at it like, oh, yeah, I got that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And a lot of people would look at that like, that's too big. That's too big. You can't do that. Oh, I know I can. I have absolutely no doubt, because the formula is that real. I am the person I'm helping. This is a real thing. I was in line for these turkeys, for these coats, for these food boxes when I was a kid. I know that. And so watching people fight over the last food box and stuff was like, okay, how can I change this? So that's the inspiration. And then the fuel is knowing I can do it,
right,
and having the network to do it as well. And so then the formula really takes on a life of its own. And then it sells itself, bro. I'm not in these meetings landing these crazy deals like selling, I'm not selling salt to a slug, man.
Right.
It's like, it's so easy. It's so easy because it's not first come, first serve. We're really helping the real way. So about 5 years before that, yeah, that's when it started. And then it just all comes to fruition. You start putting things in motion. You start getting people on board, and I just tap shoulders of the people in the community that was willing to help me. And there we are. You feel me?
So then it becomes what? So if people see Laced Up PDX,
right,
and they're like, what is that?
Yep.
What is it?
Yeah. Laced Up PDX is a back-to-school event, an annual back-to-school event where we give brand new sneakers to kids for their first day of school. But upon receiving these sneakers, it's an experience. It's not just, hey, come pick up your stuff, right? You want a sneaker list, just come pick it up.
Right.
When upon picking it up, there's haircuts, there's school supplies, there's backpacks, there's food. We feed the whole fam. Yeah. You feel me? There's activities. There's Xbox tournaments. There's, you feel me? Bro, we got basketball workshops, soccer workshops. We have a parent lounge this year. We're outfitting the household with knowledge. We lacing up the household with knowledge. Yeah. Intergenerational trauma informed folks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Really helping. And trying to change the course of what poverty has done to us. Yeah. And I say us because I am of that. Yeah. And so it's really crazy to see. So upon picking these brand new pairs of shoes up, this is what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? You're receiving that. And that is something that I have just fine-tuned. It's year 3, and last year somebody asked me if we did it, what our budget was. They was like, this has got to be 100,000, 50 to 100. Right. I'm like, bruh, we did this with less than 10. And this is because it's so well put together, because I'm a stickler for detail, and it's all about the children. Yeah. The children are the ones on the sneaker list, and their parents or guardians are they plus ones.
Got you.
It's all about the children.
Got you.
Because that's what it should be, right? Yeah. And no knock to Build a Bike, but Build a Bike was trash growing up. And I'm just saying it was trash.
Yeah.
I got home, my purple bike fell apart in 3 days, bro. I was trying to sell parts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the shirt I got had all the logos on the back. Everybody knew I was broke at school. I ain't wore that.
No, I feel
I'm saying, if we gonna keep it real, let's just be honest. Yeah. I don't have none of that. We're not doing none of that. Yeah. We're not doing none of that. Yeah. Because kids don't want that. They don't want that. Families don't deserve that. They deserve more, right? If we don't give it to them, then what? We're just taking whatever we get. That's what poverty is. Yeah. First come, first serve. We already doing that. We already take it from each other. Come on, man. Yeah. It ain't teaching nobody nothing. Yeah. So knowledge is the first. Is the first step to power and of self and knowing and understanding how much you're worth and your value. And so I'm really trying to attack that in my community. And so yeah.
I mean, what a huge thing to do when you talk about giving brand new sneakers to kids, and we're gonna come back and touch on that a little bit more specifically. But then when you talk about bringing in the family and providing, I think you can't just say, here's some knowledge, here's some things that you can do to better your situation alone. I mean, let's just be honest, Facts. Right? I mean, you have to. I think it carries more weight when you say, "Hey, let me give you a haircut, let me feed you, and let me give you some knowledge," right?
Break bread.
Yeah, exactly. But now when you leave, yes, the kids leave with something that, come on, bro. You a young kid going first day of school, and I got some new sneakers. That's huge,
bro. The
right?
confidence.
Absolutely. That does so much. But then the parent also goes home and they see real, tangible love, right?
Yeah.
And that for their child, but then again, they're leaving with something that hopefully will impact them wherever they are in whatever space they're in.
Well, and sparking that thought, poverty. So this is my saying this year: poverty-stricken people are prideful. A lot of the reason why I was homeless, and me and my mom was homeless, because it was pride. My mother was very prideful.
Yeah.
She made a lot of mistakes, but she also would put her life on the line to remedy those mistakes and fix those things. My mom would do anything to change those situations if you were to ask her right now.
Yeah.
But it happened. So the pride piece here is like, I understand that's a huge wall to break down.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's going to happen overnight. But I think with reoccurring quality over quantity in this regard is what I'm looking for.
Right.
Because the impact starts with that spark of like, you know what? I am going to start saving my money today. I'm going to put that $5 away. You know what? I'm going to try to cook on a budget today. We're going to cook at home. We're not taking you to whoever and whoever, you know what I'm saying, to drive through. I'm not going to do that today. And I'm going to spend some time with my son.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to teach him how to cook. You feel me? And we're going to go get some real stuff with this. It's like little things like that, man. It starts with the household, bro. And so I feel like we can, with poverty, we can start it, but Laced Up PDX legacy will be determined by the action after the event. And so you're right, the love will happen after if we continue to provide the right pieces, the right stepping stones.
That's what's up, man. That's just so huge, man.
It's massive,
and
bro.
excited that you're in the third year. So, the event is coming up on August the 24th.
Yes.
How much information do you want to share with people at this date? Right.
So the sneaker list is probably going to close on Monday.
Okay.
So lacedupPDX.com. Go, you know what I'm saying? Just go hit, bro, explosion.
Yeah,
just
I
explosion.
I can only imagine.
Some of the announcements we was able to make this year were absolutely amazing.
So
absolutely
run that
incredible.
down, because by the time this episode drops, the sneaker list will be closed. So
Okay.
Go ahead and run that
Yep.
down.
lacedupPDX.com. You can go and, you can even still go and donate, right? I'll say that since the sneaker list will be closed. Go and donate at lacedupPDX.com. Right. It goes directly to the kids. But yeah, the sponsors, man. Shout out to OG1, man, for really plugging me in, bro. He's really my OG. I call him Unc. When I call him, it's Unc. What's up, man? It's nephew. What's going on, man?
Yeah.
You feel me? We got Jordan brand on. I'm just gonna get right to it. I'm just gonna start there.
Yo.
Jordan brand. 50 pairs of shoes from Jordan brand, bro, and not no Team Jordans.
Right. Straight up.
Not no Team
Straight
Jordans,
up.
bro. These ain't no Russell Westbrooks, bro.
50 pairs,
bruh. Major shout out to OG on that. We got Microsoft on board, bruh. Microsoft. Shout out to Billy. Shout out to Billy.
That's the homie.
Shout out to Bill. Big B. Big B.
I mean, you talk about educating. You talk about just exposing people.
Right.
But go ahead.
Hey, Microsoft. We got BFit Gyms. We got iHeartMedia and 107.5. We got oh my goodness, man. We got Black Mannequin. We got Mondo's. We got Portland Gear on board this year. We got Chief Cuts is in the building. Society College. We got Timberlands, bruh.
Man.
Timberlands?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying, man, I mean, we could it's so many. Youth PDX is my partner. P-Town Media really looking out for me. Yes. Like they have been so incredible. My website is just so smooth because of the impact that they've been able to just on the fly effectively, bring to life what I'm speaking on, right? Dude, everybody, man. Yeah. There's so many people. Portland Gear, though, I really want to give a major shout out to Portland Gear. Yeah. They stepped up and said, "Hey, man, how could we help?" You know what I'm saying? They were. I reached out to them. And they were like, they answered the phone on the fly. Word. This brand is huge. This is a huge brand. Yeah. And we are making the T-shirts. This was their idea. They said, what if we made the T-shirt to match the shoe? Because this year's all about our legacy words this year are legacy, individuality, and bravery. Yeah. I always have words that are attached to whatever I'm doing. Yeah. And he said individuality. I love it. He was like, we're going to make that T-shirt matte. So that shirt, there's only one of those shirts that matches those shoes.
Bro.
And there's a message on the inside of the shoes. There's a message inside of on the inside of the T-shirt. Yeah. There's a message inside of the box that goes specifically to the kid. It's really impactful, bro. Wow. Like individuality, a lot of kids deal with that issue with that these days. Yeah. And so we really wanted to empower them in loving themselves more than anyone, right? That's how it's got to start. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Shout out to Portland Gear. Shout out to really just like, bro. You know, I don't know, man. It's weird, man. Like I could not have told. I knew it was gonna be great, right? But like I couldn't have told you. Like this is beyond my wildest dreams at this point, right? And so I'm just blessed to be in the position I'm in, man. And I don't know. I probably left some sponsors out, but I'm cool, bro.
Nah, but you know what though? But I think that to me the bigger message is the fact that you have people who see the vision, and like you said early in our conversation, and I know you've said it. I've seen you post it before. It's really having that belief that you can do what everybody says you can't do, and not on some like, oh, I'm gonna show them, but just pure passion,
grit,
and just knowing, hey, here's a need, and let me be. I try to live my life. One of the things I try to live my life by is be the change you want to see.
Absolutely.
And that's what you've done, bro.
Thank you, man.
And you've reached out to other people who are in positions to help support and push that. And I think, and again, going back to what you said earlier, you went through this change in your life where you realized the nation is mightier than the individual.
Absolutely.
And this is all a part of that whole. To me, it's a part of that mighty nation, just in a different form and fashion. And now you have. Who knows what the world lasts as long? Who knows what the next 10 or 15 years is going to show because of somebody who came to Laced Up and got a pair of kicks and got that singular T-shirt and gave them that confidence and gave them that, that belief in themselves, and they see something and they say, hey, they say that we can't do it, but come on, let's show them that we can.
That's the legacy. Yeah. That's the legacy, and we have legacy colors. Our legacy colors are black, white, and gold. Or yellow, it's either way. Yeah. But reason why I hold on to these words, you'll hear me use them a lot, because there has to be a derivative narrative, right? There has to be a narrative that's derivative of what our goal is. Yeah. We want to have a legacy, no matter what it is, and we understand that is in the children, right? And so, long after Laced Up PDX, these things will start to come to fruition because they'll have the opportunity to do it, right? So as long as we impact them enough, then it's on them. Yeah. I'm giving you the tools, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You can't complain about your toolbox no more. Right. I promise you. Look in your toolbox. Yeah. And so we have to empower and encourage them as well. And I don't know, man. I think in all reality, Laced Up is going to be across the globe at some point. I think there will be a Laced Up Brazil. There'll be a Laced Up Europe. There'll be I'm telling you, like, let this be written in stone, fam. It's going to live long after I'm gone. I'm just here to people was like, when Nipsey went, people was like, bro, there's a whole bunch of Nipseys. I'd be like, man, quit saying that. But then somebody really sat down with me and was talking to me, and it was like, bro, you really have a lot of similar qualities to what he was trying to preach to. I was like, man, that's so dope, because I looked up to him. So I genuinely feel like he changed so much. He was the spark Pac was talking about. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I'm really just trying to do that same thing, but in my own way. Right. And I think we're onto something.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Laced Up PDX, man. It goes down on August the 24th. It is a part of Hip Hop Week 2019, which is crazy.
And we're sanctioned by Hip Hop Week.
You know what I'm saying?
That's incredible.
Yeah, bro. So again, the nation continues to grow.
Yes.
So really, really excited to see that. Chopping with the homie Mighty. We talking about all these brands. I gotta just take a quick second and shout out my folk Acapella Apparel, man. They are a supporter of the Klyph Notes podcast, and just want to encourage people to support local businesses, yes, to support local brands. All of the folk that Mighty mentioned who are right here in the Portland metro area. But also check out my folk at Acapella Apparel, AKEPELE.com. So like I said, man, it's a part of Portland Hip Hop Week, and getting back to where we started, B, you're an artist, you're an MC,
Absolutely.
you're continuing to make joints. You just dropped visuals the end of June for a joint, and then you're teasing another joint that's gonna drop so this is on the 24th, 4 days later, right after Hip Hop Week, the day before the last mic check. You got to tell me what's up with this one, bruh. This flex joint, man. I keep seeing a little tease, and I'm like, what?
10,000 views total, just across the board. 10,000 views in less than 10 days. It was like, it's still bubbling. It just has its own, we'll just say the Oregon football program, you feel me, and Mighty Nation. We were in conversation. Shout out to Exile, who has done Oregon Duck anthems for years. Yeah. He's a good friend of mine. Yeah. So Flex this year is the Oregon Duck anthem. This is Flex with 2 X's. That's the new shield. Kick game, and I ain't talking no shoe deal. You feel what I'm saying? Like, bruh, this is really going to be an impactful year. I feel like we could take the Natty this year for the Oregon Ducks. Wow. I'm a huge Oregon Duck fan. But, like, the fact...
Wait. Did y'all hear that energy? Did y'all hear that energy change all of a sudden?
Hey, bro.
Like, he would, we vibing with Laced Up. Yes, it's real. Man, that energy went up as soon as you start talking about the Ducks, yo.
Because you know how I go. It's barbershop talk now. It turned into it. So the fact of the matter is here, we made one of the most incredible records I probably ever made in my career. And I'm going to tell you something. Because it's all from scratch. Shout out to Wolverine on the production.
Word.
Exile shot me to alley-oop, right? Exile been doing these records. He did Old Time. Old Time's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views, man. Right. Like Duck fans is relentless, bruh. Right. But we're tapping into a market of 60,000 people every Saturday, which that's just in one space. Yeah. We talking 200,000 to 300,000, 400,000 people every Saturday ready to ride. Yeah. You feel me? And so that green and yellow is real thick. It's real thick. Yeah. And so Flex is supposed to be that shield, that representation of the feeling that the field is going to have this year. It's modern day fight music for gladiators, bruh. And it's like, it's next level. So I got Exile on the record. Shout out to X. He did incredible, because the production is definitely up my alley, Right. And he was like, man, I don't know if he came out of retirement for the record. He was like, bro, I don't know, man, I don't know. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you gonna know. You gonna know. Wait till you hear this. You feel me? And so we sat down, we made it all from scratch, and Wolverine, the snares on the hook are pads hitting in football games. Yeah, the snares on the hook. Yeah, okay. Just think about that.
Okay. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's
incredible. It's so powerful. The strings and everything they're warped. We have hi-hats, bouncing all around. Yeah. And then there's this call to action in the hook. So it's just a crazy record, bro. I want to see the band play it live at at a game. Yeah. But I totally think we're going to the Natty. I think we have the Heisman winner. You know what I'm saying? And he's a hometown boy. Yeah. And we're going to Auburn. Auburn just lost their best wide receiver. So we're going to go in there. We're going to take the cake and get out of Dallas real quick. And we start the year with a win in Auburn. It's a wrap. Yeah. It's a wrap, bro. Because Pac-12 ain't hanging. Pac-12 ain't hanging, bro. I'm just saying they don't want to see us this year. And Flex is gonna give you that energy. It drops on August 28th. You know what I mean? Again, shout out to Wolverine, shout out to X. Yeah. But like, I bodied that record, bro. I told X you better bring it, and he brought it too, bro. Like, you do not want to get on a record with me, man. I'm not arrogant or nothing, but I'm saying if you gonna be sitting next to me on a record, you better bring your A game.
Yeah, no doubt. But again, I think it's a part of everything that we've been talking about thus far, man. Just the way that you operate is you can see it through all of these things, and I think that that's cool. Again, when you are in a position, when you have a platform that you can just show people how it can be done, and in my opinion, how it should be done, you're doing that.
Thank you.
You're doing that. So big ups to you. I say, encourage you, stay on this path. I know I don't need to say that, but stay on this path.
Thank you.
Because you have the opportunity to change lives, with what you're doing, and be able to look back. Like I said, I'm not going to be surprised to look back and see how people will start shouting you out. Man. You become the OG because of the path that you've laid for folk. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
So,
man, thank you. That coming from you, that means a lot. I look up to you. I look up to OG. I look up to Nuts. I look up to everybody. I'm a student of the game. I'm a fan before I'm an artist. And the reality is, there's some incredible people in the city.
Yeah.
There's incredible energy in the city. And I just don't want to. I don't want to misrepresent anything. So I do approach everything with that chip on my shoulder a little bit, because I don't feel like anyone has misrepresented, but I do look at it as a responsibility. And so I just thank y'all for paving the way and giving us an opportunity. We wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for y'all standing up there at the forefront saying, hey, representing us, saying like, no, look, this younger generation is incredible. Y'all need to open your ears. I loved when OG at Hip Hop Day last year, he said he literally went through this list and we're getting recognized or whatever, and we were standing up there and he goes, I want every single person to take a hard look at who's up here. You go and support them. You go and download their album. You go and purchase a ticket, whether you going to the show or not. And I just loved that call to action, and that it says a lot about who he is as a person and kind of what we're trying to do here.
Absolutely.
So thank you for just putting me in that position and allowing us to be a voice for the culture.
That's what's up, bro. And I think it's so cool to be able to feel proud to do that because of people in Portland who are handling their business the way that they are, the way that you are. And man, our goal, my goal, I know I can speak for OG and for Nuts to say our goal is to be able to pass the torch and understand that, Portland hip hop is in good hands because of folk like yourself. So definitely keep doing what you're doing, be for real,
man. And I gotta shout out somebody too. I gotta shout out Ninkasi Brewing.
A word.
They made Flex possible. You know what I'm saying? They sponsored the entire shoot, the entire branding. Shout out to Caso De Niro for the design.
That's
hey,
homie,
Alexander,
bro.
my boy.
Yeah.
Like, he looks out for me, man. He looks out for a lot of people.
Yes.
Every time I tap his shoulder, he's always ready to work and willing to go above and beyond. We had deliverables for Oregon within a week and a half, and it's like a full-blown 7 different versions of the logo and T-shirt designs. And, you know what I mean? Like, it was just so awesome to be able to work with, someone just as awesome as he is, and creative, and he's just a mastermind of his craft. And then Young Mill, Aeon Visual, putting together the video. That's why that teaser looks so crazy.
Oh, word.
Aeon Visual is Young Mill.
Okay, because I know he's on his visual game now. I didn't realize that's who did it.
Yeah, that's Aeon Visual.
That's
so
what's up.
We went down to Eugene. They pulled up 100 cars deep. We had, all I did was tweet, and X just tweeted like, "Ducks pull up to Autzen because it's going down." And I mean, there was people in duck out like a duck clown dude, bruh. Ninkasi had all the drinks, bruh. We had a big old like trash truck that's morphed and formed into it looked like a transformer, bruh. And it's like it's got duck stuff all over. I've never been to a game, and I've never. That's the downside because I'm so busy. I can't always go enjoy things that I want to. But I got to experience a tailgate when it ain't even the season. Like, they brought the livest folks. And so I just want to shout out the fans too, but Ninkasi really helped bring that to life. There's a vehicle that pulls up. It's the Escalade, and it's the Escalade, the Duck Escalade, and underneath the handles it says Mighty Oregon. And so what a fitting way to start the season.
Right.
So it makes sense.
Well, I'm gonna say this, bruh. I know you say you haven't been to a game yet, but I feel very confident in saying it's probably about to change, bro. It's probably about to change.
And the energy, I'm telling you, it's the energy, man. I was just on Calculated Conversations. Shout out to Exclusive and Dave. I was just on there talking. We talked a lot about energy, and I just hope people understand that, cultivating the vision and protecting your energy is what I've always been about. And so I feel like we're able to take what the goal is and box it up in a really great way right now. We really understand how to do that. So Flex, August 28th, make sure you tune in, because we're also doing a video release, pre-release at PSU. So it's a theater type thing, and we're gonna be on some talk radio, some sports radio, and stuff. And we're giving away tickets. So if you get to hear this and it's before the 18th, you know what I'm saying? Hey, hit my DM at It's Mighty, at ITZ Mighty if you want to be at the release. I'll probably give away 5 tickets off X-Ray.
Word.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So pull up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's definitely gonna
see it before the 28th.
Bruh. I mean, just off top, man, thank you so much for like you said, I know that you're a busy man, so thank you so much for coming through. This means a lot.
I've been waiting to get on here, bro.
I know, bro. I know, and but you here. You know what I'm saying? You here now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep you for a little bit longer because we're gonna run down and jump on live on Welcome to the Neighborhood. But the event, part of Hip Hop Week, it goes down on August the 24th. Laced Up PDX. Go to the website lacedupPDX.com. That's lacedupPDX.com. There's all kinds of information for you there, opportunities for you to get involved into a really, really valuable, important, positive situation. Donate. Absolutely, man. Become a part of this movement, man. As we work to change lives for real. You're fairly active on the socials. People trying to connect with you on social. Where you at?
Oh yeah, at ITZ Mighty, at Laced Up PDX, Facebook Mighty. You can at Mighty, it'll pop right up. Twitter at ITZ Mighty. Everything is It's Mighty, because when you see me live or you hear me on X-Ray and you're wondering who that is, it's Mighty.
Word. I can definitely vouch for that. Once again, brother, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, man.
For sure. I got to give a couple shout outs, man. Big ups to X-Ray FM for continuing to support the Klyph Notes podcast by being a gracious host as we come through and record. Once again, big ups to my folk at Acapella for their continued support of the Klyph Notes podcast. And last but never, ever least, big ups to the homie Theory Has It for creating the official theme song for the Klyph Notes podcast. Once again, you can check out the podcast everywhere you listen to podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, or you can go to www.klyphnotes.com. We're also on the X-Ray FM podcast network if you go to xraypod.com. You can hit me up on social media at DJ Klyph, and be sure to tune in every Saturday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on X-Ray FM for Welcome to the Neighborhood. All right, y'all. Check in for sure until we have an opportunity to do this again. Y'all be blessed. Peace.